the last class, we did a brush up on what cloud computing is, right? And the deployment models, right? Right? Four types of deployment models, which are public, private, hybrid, and community. Yes? Is it still low?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine, fine. I think those who are having issues listening to me, please get a better place so that you get a better connection, right? Because if some are getting my voice clearly, then I'm sure it's clear. Okay. Otherwise, that would have been a problem for all. Also, that because we are using the university plan. Okay. Okay. So see, today we'll discuss about we'll do a revision on the cloud service models, namely the SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS, right? Software as service, platform as service, and infrastructure as service. But before going directly to that, I would just like to show you one example here so that you get a better idea of what SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS are all about. Okay. Now this is new pizza as a service. Okay. So new pizza as a service which has been demonstrated in that manner so that you get a better understanding of what those actually are. Okay. So see, when you want to make or bake a pizza, okay, when you want to bake a pizza, okay, you have four options. Okay, you have four options if you want to have a pizza. Okay, as your meat. Now, one is when you will make the entire pizza at home. That is made in house. Okay, which is a traditional on-premises deployment. Like, which means you will, deploy, like you will make the entire pizza at home. Okay, all the all the platform, all the what you say, the ingredients will be yours. You'll have to go to the market. You have to get them the ingredients, like okay, whatever ingredients you will be requiring. Okay, the crust, the vegetables on top. Okay, cheese, mayonnaise, whatever you want to, however you want to make the pizza. So you'll have to get all the ingredients, the sauce, right? Get all the ingredients from the market. Okay, the toppings. Okay, then of course the dough, everything you have to get from the market, right? Then you will be using your own kitchen, your own oven, your own gas, everything will be yours. Okay, so this is when you are using your kitchen, your house to bake the pizza, right? So this is when you manage everything, starting from the food to the infrastructure, that is your kitchen, okay, items, everything will be yours. Okay, you are responsible for everything. Another is the complete opposite of this will be the software as a service. So in this case, so let's not directly come to software as a service. Okay, so in layman term, what can you think of it as? The like you Swiggy orders, or you use Zomato, you use Swiggy, you use Uber Eats. So what do you do there? Everything is theirs, right? Everything is theirs. So you simply have to use the app. Okay, you simply have to use the app. You just place your order, and you have to own the one thing that you have to do is you have to just make the payment, because you are receiving a service for which you have to make the payment. So that is the only thing that you have to do. Just place the order, do the payment, and wait for the order to be delivered. That is what you have to do. Completely contrary to this, where you have to do everything, right? You have to do everything here. Everything will be yours. Everything you have to get ready. You have to bake it. You have to use your own kitchen. You have to use your own tools, whatever. Okay. Here it's just the opposite, where you don't have to do anything. You simply have to sit or sleep, just book, you place the order, pay, and then just wait for the delivery. Right? So here everything will be theirs. So here the entire pizza will be delivered to your doorstep. Right? That means you are directly getting the service from them. Yes? Next, let's come to this. Okay. So here what you have to do is, as you can see, walk in and bake. Walk in and bake means, suppose, just think, okay, just let us consider two scenarios. Okay, what you can do is, suppose you people want to visit me. Okay, you people want to visit me and you would want to have pizza. Okay, so one way is that, of course, I'll make the pizza. I'll use my kitchen, of course. I'll do everything. You only have to come and have it. That means the entire infrastructure, the entire ingredients, the pizza, everything will be, from buying to making the pizza ready to serving it, everything will be mine, right? You are my guest. I'll just serve you. You'll have it. Fine. Yeah. Then this is when what I'll do is the complete opposite thing that I will do is, okay, because there will be many students from your batch. So what I can do is I can, what I'll do is I might order online. Okay, I'll order online. It will, get delivered to my doorstep and then I'll serve you. Right? That is one option. Another option is, what I can do is I will let my kitchen. Okay, what I'll do is I'll tell you that, okay, I'll make the pizza. Okay, the kitchen will be mine. The tools will be mine. Okay, whatever tools or cutlery or whatever it is. Okay, the dishes, whatever, everything will be mine. Okay, the dough will also be mine. The only thing that you have to do is you have to buy the topping. Okay, you have to buy the topping and buy all the ingredients, everything. Okay, the topping, the ingredients, everything that you have to buy, the crust, everything you have to buy, and you have to cook the pizza at my place. It will be you who will be cooking at my place. Okay, so that is one another condition. I'll tell you. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, you can use my kitchen. Okay, everything, the oven, the gas, everything will be yours. You only have to do is you have to buy all the ingredients, you have to buy the stuff, you have to bring it in, and you can use my kitchen to bake it. I'm not going to bake it for you. So you'll be baking it in my kitchen. Okay. The rest will be mine. That means you'll be using my platform. Okay, you'll be using my platform. Entire platform will be yours. The kitchen is the platform. Okay, the tools in the kitchen, the devices, everything in the kitchen will be yours. Okay, so you only have to step into the kitchen, bring the ingredients, and start baking it. Okay, so that is what this is. Another food technique can be that what I'll do is the dough. Okay, the dough will also be yours. Okay, the dough also, you also have to get the dough for yourself. Okay, only the infrastructure, that is only the gas, the oven, the kitchen will be mine. Even you have to make the dough. Okay, you also have to make the dough, which will be the platform, because it is on this platform where you will be going to make the pizza, right? Dough is the base. You are going to cook the pizza. You are going to fill it up, right? You are going to fill it up, like suppose you have an what you say, you have to develop an application, right? For that you have to know the language, of course, right? You have to know the various languages like back and front end. Yes, you need to have the data for it, right? You also need to have the platform, right, to develop the application. So likewise, this door will serve as the application. Oh, sorry, this door will be the platform for you. And on top of this, you will be making the pizza. You will be filling up the ingredients and you will be cooking the pizza. So in this case, what will happen is I'll only let you use the kitchen. And in my kitchen, there the dough will not be available. It is you who will bring the dough to the kitchen, okay, along with the other ingredients. Okay, you can use my kitchen dough. You can use my kitchen, my oven, my gas. That will be you. Okay, you have to pay for it, of course. You have to pay. That will not be free. You have to pay for it, but you can use it. This will be mine. The green will be mine. The blue part will be yours. Okay, so these are the various types of getting the services. How you can get the services, right? So this is what actually, okay, this pizza as a service. So this idea has been drawn from it actually. Okay. So now let's come directly to this. Compromise infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So exactly, just like the pizza. Okay, suppose you want to develop a web application. Okay, suppose you want to develop an application. For that, what are the things that you need? Of course, you need the data, the application. Okay, the data. You need some compiler. compiler. Okay, you need the compiler on where you will be running the application. You need the middleware, the operating system, right? Then server, storage, networking, virtualization. Of course, you don't know what virtualization is, but anyway, okay, because we'll come to virtualization a bit later. But anyways, these are the things that you will be needing to develop an application at the same time to host that application, right? Developing an application is not enough, but you also have to host the application, right? For that, you need an infrastructure or you need a platform, right? Now, suppose I have a boutique. Okay, I have a boutique in the city. Okay, and it's popular in the city, but I would want to make it online so that I get more customers. So that I suppose I want to expand my business across the country. Okay, my boutique is very much popular in the city, but I would want to expand my business because it's doing really well. So I would want to expand the business and I would want to reach out to other people in other cities also. Okay, so what will I do? I have two options. Okay, one is I can, sorry, I have one option to do it. That is, I can make it online. Okay, I can transfer, transfer my system to online. So in that way, I'll be able to reach out to all the social media users, right? So for that, I'll have to develop an application. Yes, I'll have to develop an application so that I may reach out to the other people across the world. Sorry, across the country, India. So in that case, now I have to develop a application. Now to develop that application, first thing is, of course, either I have to know how to develop the application, or I can depend on some third party for it, right? So if I know to develop the application, then that will be on premise. Everything will be mine. Everything I'll do. Okay, from creating, managing, maintaining the application, everything will be done by me. Do you understand? I'll do everything, starting with developing the application, okay, to hosting it, okay, to maintaining all backups, maintenance, management, everything. Okay, everything will be done by me. I'll be responsible for everything. That will be on premise. Another way is that I can, there are three other ways I can depend on someone else, on a third party for this idea. Okay, the first idea that will obviously come to my mind is, okay, if I don't know how to develop an application or to host it or everything related to that, anything related to that, I have no idea. I'm just a layman. Okay, I have no idea about it at all. What I can do is I can directly go software as a service, where just like here in this case, just like you use Swiggy, right? You use Netflix, everything. Okay, Netflix, Swiggy, Zomato, all these are what? These are software as a service. So what I'll do is I'll directly get the software as the service. That means I'll just contact the vendor. I'll contact the vendor directly. Okay, the vendor will do everything for me. Okay, the vendor will develop the application, the vendor will host the application, the backups, maintenance, everything will be looked upon by the vendor. Only thing that I have to do is I have to get the service, and for that I have to pay the vendor. Okay, I have to only do the payment. I have to, of course, what how I would want the website. Okay, that I'll do. Okay, so that I'll discuss with the vendor. But anyway, from developing, okay, to maintaining backup, everything, okay, managing, everything will be taken care by the vendor. Okay, so here the only thing that you have to do is you have to pay for the service that you are getting, and they will make everything ready, right? Understood this too, this on premise and software as a service? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Next is platform as a, yeah, in platform as a service. What is the actually, when would you want to use platform as a service? Of course, in case of software as a service, you have to pay more money because everything will be a service to you, right? Nothing is yours. You are getting every service from them. So here you have to make more payment. Now, in platform as a service, certain things will be yours, certain things will be theirs, the vendors. So as you can see here, the blue, the ones marked in blue or green, however you got, in whichever color you would like to say, So this will be managed by you. That means suppose you know to write the application. Okay, suppose you know PHP, .NET, okay, JavaScript, okay, SQL. Suppose you know all these the scripting languages, PHP, okay, database, SQL. You know the languages, you know how to develop the application. Okay, the data is also with you. Okay, the data is also with you, and you know to develop the application. This is when you are using infrastructure only as the service. Okay, so I hope now cloud computing is somewhat clear to you. Okay, now we shall start with virtualization. Virtualization. Anybody has any idea about virtualization? Might have probably heard virtualization. Anything? Anything? Yes or no? Tell me. Yes, Papa. Anybody knows what virtualization is? Anyone? What do you understand? What do you understand by the term? Just let's not relate it to computer science. Okay, let's not relate it to cloud computing. When you say virtual, what's the meaning of the word virtual?
Virtual means uh, duplicate or copy. मतलब
Virtual is not duplicate. Virtual is not copy. What are we doing? What are we doing right now? Am I not conducting a class?
yes, ma'am. Virtually connecting the class, ma'am.
That means what? Is it duplicate? Is it copy?
It is
What is it? I'm virtually conducting the class. So what do you how can you interpret it in layman language?
Ma'am, it's like access from like virtually. I mean, from not physically.
Yes, virtually is when you are not physically present. Okay, we are using some app, okay, using which we are conducting the class. We're using some platform or app using which we are conducting the class. But so we are communicating with one another. We are conducting the class. Okay, I can see you, you can see me. Of course, though our cameras are off now. But anyway, if I ask you to on your cameras and if I turn on my camera as well, you can see me, right? You can see me. You can now you can hear me. I can hear you. We are communicating very much like normal communication that we have in classes. But differences in classes we are physically present. We can touch each other. We can right. We can sit near each other. Right. Here everything is in terms of voice, sound, and image. That means physically we are not present near one another. We are not in the same location. Right. So that is what the you know virtualization is all about. That means you have a hardware, okay, hardware. I have a hardware. This is my laptop, okay. I'm using it. But if I would want some remote users to access my, okay, not sorry, okay. If I would want some remote users to access my system, okay, using cloud computing, then I would need virtualization. So let's break it down like this. Forget everything. Okay, let's first start with what virtualization is, and then we'll learn how is it important in cloud computing. Okay, so let's start with this. So see here, this is a server. Okay, this is a single server, a single machine where we have processor. Okay, we have some memory elements like RAM ROM for storing data. We also have the network capacity. Okay, so this is a server, okay, a physical server we have, right? So we have the processing element, we have the network element, we have storage elements, we have everything in here, and this is a single physical machine. Okay, so now if I sit on this server, I can work fine, right? Or if multiple people wants to work on it, they can come, batch by batch. That means first I'll sit, then I'll leave. Okay, then the second person will come use it and then leave. Third person will come use it and leave. Okay, fourth person comes in, use it and leave. Okay, that's understood. But what about if there are people who cannot be physically present to use this server? That means they belong to some other location. Okay, that means what? They are in some other location and want to use the server and its resources at the same time simultaneously. That means I'm talking about the cloud computing technology. Okay, so in cloud computing, as you know, there can be several users who get services, who take services simultaneously, okay, from the vendors, right, from the providers or vendors, whatever you call them. So now if a single person wants to physically use the server, it is possible. But if multiple people want to use the server at the same time, and using the server means using the various resources at the same time, okay, then that cannot be possible physically. So in that case, we have to virtualize the situation. Virtualize the situation means the environment here is physical, but we have to make a software version. We have to create a software or a virtual version of this hardware so that, and not one, but multiple versions, so that those versions can be used by various users, okay, independent of their location. समझ आया? जो भी हार्डवेयर है मेरा, जितने भी रिसोर्सेस है मेरे, what will I do is, because these are single instances, right? So what I'll do is I'll try to virtualize the environment. I'll try to give it an idea. Okay, I'll try to make it in a way that ultimately base में क्या है, हार्डवेयर एक ही है, प्रोसेसर यही है, हाई स्पीड प्रोसेसर है, मेमोरी एलिमेंट्स, नेटवर्क कैपेसिटी है बहुत सारा, ठीक है. But what I'll do is I'll try to create an idea to the users, okay, to the users that I have many processors, I have much RAM, I have much network capacity. मतलब जो भी बेस लेवल पे मेरे पास है उन्हीं चीज को, those things will be segregated, those things will be divided into parts and will be fed into various virtual machines. Okay, तो जो मेरा एक सिंगल सिस्टम है, I will try to create various machines which will be virtual in nature, okay, on top of this existing hardware. Okay, and who makes it possible? There's a software or a program which we call the hypervisor or the virtual machine monitor. Okay, the VMM. Okay, so it is this hypervisor which makes it possible to virtualize. Okay, the hypervisor will virtualize the environment or will create a virtual version or software version of this hardware or this server available with me. Okay, so that, you know, if I have, suppose I have 10 users who wants to access the server now. Okay, I have 10 users, I have request coming in from 10 users. So what I'll do is I'll use the hypervisor to create 10 different machines. Okay, and these machines will be virtual in nature, but ये सिर्फ मुझे पता है कि ये virtual in nature है. This will not be known to the user. When the user will use the system, user will feel that, oh, this is one system that I'm using. User को ये idea ही नहीं होगा कि वो actual में एक virtual machine use कर रहा है. लेकिन ये जो virtual machine है, it will exactly look like original machine. ठीक है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे in these machines, okay, in these 10 machines, यहाँ पे अपना अपना operating system हो गया. ठीक है, उन लोग का अपना अपना ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम होगा, तो यूजर को जितने भी रिसोर्सेज चाहिए होंगे, ओके, जितने भी प्रोसेसर चाहिए, उसको जितने भी स्टोरेज एलिमेंट्स चाहिए, जितना भी नेटवर्क कैपेसिटी चाहिए, ओके, यूजर रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे, अकॉर्डिंगली हाइपरवाइजर will create virtual machine as per the request and feed that much resources to that machine so that that machine is now ready and available to the user. Okay, so suppose this user is accessing this virtual machine 1, this user is accessing this virtual machine 2. So of course the request will be coming from the user's end. Okay, once the request comes in, okay, the hypervisor takes in the request. The hypervisor will accordingly see what the request is. Okay, what, how much, you know, how much machines needs to be created or how much resources needs to be fed to each of these machines. Accordingly the machines will be prepared. ठीक है, लेकिन ये जो machines है, these are virtual in nature. ठीक है, ये फिजिकली प्रेजेंट नहीं है. फिजिकल मेरे पास एक ही सर्वर है, लेकिन this will give an idea that there are multiple machines present and each machine is serving one user across the globe. But actually these are just virtual in nature. This is just a concept. They don't have physical existence. Okay, so likewise, based on the request from various users or clients or various consumers, okay, hypervisor will create virtual machines, okay, and those virtual machines will be then, you know, can be accessed. Now they are ready to be accessed by the users. Okay, जो भी उन लोगों को चाहिए services, this virtual machine will serve the users. So basic idea is this. This is what virtualization is. Okay, मतलब virtualization मतलब जो physical हम लोग का जो platform है, जो physical hardware है, उसको हम लोग virtualize कर देंगे. Okay, उसको हम लोग virtualize कर देंगे. How? With the help of hypervisor by creating some machines, okay, which will be virtual in nature, and those machines will work like independent hardware machines. Okay, independent physical machines की तरह ही ये लोग काम करेंगे to serve the, to cater to the various consumers across the globe. Okay, have you understood the basic concept? This is just the basic. Okay, hypervisor. What is a hypervisor? So hypervisor के ऊपर we'll discuss in the next class because there are basically two main types of hypervisor, type 1 and type 2. Okay, so जो type 1 hypervisor है, हम इसको bare metal hypervisor भी कहते हैं because in that case this software, as I said, hypervisor is a software program. So in bare metal or type 1 hypervisor, the hypervisor is directly installed on top of the hardware. Okay, और जो type 2 hypervisor है, that is just an application जो हम लोग use करते हैं ना VMware. Most of you have used it VMware, right? So वहाँ पे जो हम लोग जो VMware PlayStation जो workstation होता है, तो वहाँ जो VMware use करते हैं वो होता है type 2 hypervisor where it is installed just like an ordinary application software on top of the operating system. So we'll learn about the various types of hypervisor or virtualization details in the next class. But for today, okay, you only have to know what virtualization is and how is it important for cloud computing. You know what cloud computing is, right? You know what cloud computing is, right? So multiple users, irrespective of whatever their location is, can access some services, remote services from the cloud service providers, right? They have to pay for it and they get the services. Okay, so based on, there are various service models, there are various deployment models. Of course, we have learned about it also. And the main backbone of cloud computing is the internet, and along with internet, another is virtualization. Of course, you need to have a high-speed internet to be able to get the services from the cloud service providers. Okay, another important backbone is the virtualization. Okay, because there will be various users who are dependent on the cloud service providers for the services. Now, how are these services to be offered if there is only a single server with you? So, of course, when you talk about service, ultimately companies के पास क्या होता है, बहुत सारे data centers होते हैं. Data center में बहुत सारे servers होते हैं. So it's not only one server, but there are millions of servers, thousands of servers. Ultimately, those servers are physical devices, right? So these servers depend, as compared to the consumers, number of servers is of course less. Yes or no? It will obviously be less. तो physical server से हम लोग कैसे services provide करेंगे to the millions and millions of customers? तो वो हर एक सर्वर जो होता है उन सर्वर्स को वर्चुअलाइज किया जाता है, मतलब उन सर्वर्स के ऊपर hypervisor यूज करके various virtual machines यूज किया जाता है, so that one server is capable of serving multiple users at the same time simultaneously. और ये जो है जो यूजर को होगा या कंज्यूमर को होगा उनको ऐसा लगेगा कि हम लोग डायरेक्टली सर्वर को एक्सेस कर रहे हैं, लेकिन नो, दे आर जस्ट एक्सेसिंग एन इंस्टेंस ऑफ द सर्वर व्हिच इज अ वर्चुअल मशीन. तो ये होता है virtualization. Now, if you ask me, ma'am, so ultimately virtualization और cloud computing का difference क्या है? So first thing that you have to know is cloud computing cannot work without virtualization. Okay, cloud computing cannot work without virtualization, but virtualization can work without cloud computing. If you are using, you can see how can, have you understood? First difference is cloud computing cannot work without virtualization, but virtualization is possible without cloud computing. Virtualization is the foundational element or an important part of cloud computing. Okay, it's a part of cloud computing. It is not cloud computing. So, if anybody asks you, okay, that what is virtualization, don't tell that virtualization is cloud computing. अगर कोई किसने पूछा कि cloud computing क्या है, don't tell it is virtualization. No, both are different concepts. Okay? Virtualization is just a part of cloud computing, but it is that part which makes cloud computing happen, or which makes the services get accessed.